Nick.
Yes, Brett?
I'm tired today.
You're tired today?
Yeah, I'm tired.
Why is that?
Oh, man. I don't know. I think people can just relate with you get your 8 hours of sleep, and your body's like, nope, you're going to feel like you got an hour this morning. That's how I felt today. I feel like my brain was left at home in my bed.
You know why? Because Brett was up until 2 a.m. trying to fix his computer.
Yeah.
And I told him, Brett, we're going to be recording the podcast tomorrow because Nick going to be bye-bye in Seattle. And what did Brett do? He did not listen to Nick.
What? I didn't even listen to what you said there. I was daydreaming about what I was going to say next. Man, that is the true epitome of selfishness right there. Not caring what somebody else is saying, and you're just thinking about what you're going to say, so you don't even listen to him. My bad. I'm just tired. I didn't listen to him about something, though, about when he's going to Seattle. Anyways, yeah, I had 100% disk space being used on my computer, so I had to try and fix that last night. Turned out it was malware bytes. Once I uninstalled malware bytes, antivirus software, my disk space went down to normal. And apparently, if you have two antiviruses, which could be Windows Defender and Malwarebytes, they can conflict with each other and store up your disk space. In doing that, making your CPU run hot when you want to play your favorite game that just came out. You've been waiting like 2 months, and your game was at 20 frames per second.
Well, thus ends the travesty of Brett. I guess I will be the one to give some life and energy into this week's episode.
Okay.
Clap, Brett. Ah, look at that, yeah.
Okay, freaking Bush. What's his name?
Bush?
Not George Bush, but his brother.
Jeb?
Jeb Bush? Yeah, when he was on the campaign trail.
Was he clapping?
He gave you never heard about that?
No.
He gave his speech to the whole crowd. Finished his speech. Nobody said a word. It was like crickets in the room. He goes, please clap. Everybody goes.
Like when that ninja guy tried to get everybody to floss in Times Square.
I'm not seeing any movement.
Anyhow, welcome to the Shotcast. I'm Nick.
I'm Brett.
And we're here to round up this week's top news while taking shots.
Sounds good to me.
A beer, that is. We have a lovely... what is our beer this week, Brett? We have the Capital Amber. We have the Capital Brewery Winter Skull.
Skull.
Yes. It's very nice, actually. I think one of my favorite beers, actually, at the moment. So, but yeah, I think... taking a look back at last week, and how do you think everything went with your cousin Emily on the podcast, huh?
Average.
Average, why do you say that?
I feel like we could have included her more.
Yeah, I did kind of get controlling of the conversation. But she also admittedly didn't want to do it, and we kind of pulled her into it.
Which I didn't really know until like the last minute.
Yeah. So I think it went okay, though. She did provide some interesting insight onto some of the topics, I think. Better than just listening to you and I talk all the time, am I right?
No.
Okay. Well, we're excited to be able to talk about some news this week for those who are returning. Welcome back. For those who are new, welcome to your first Shotcast experience. I guess since we kind of have a new format again that we're sticking with, I'll go over what that is. So typically the show's about 45 minutes to an hour, and now instead of just doing 3 news stories at the beginning, we have now split it up into 6 different categories. The categories being U.S. news, world news, politics, technology, entertainment or pop culture, and our feel-good story of the week. Because who doesn't like to be happy, right, Brett?
I love to be happy.
Right? So, that's the update I think I have. Make sure to follow us on social media Follow us on social media on Instagram at @the_Shotcast and on Facebook at the Shotcast WI for Wisconsin. Even though we've barely been posting this month, but we're going to pick it back up again in March, right, Brett?
Right.
We are running short on photos, so Brett has more than obliged to take photos at the next Drunkcast.
Even though I'm going to hate it.
Yes.
I hate taking photos.
He does, but it is necessary. Also, next weekend is our Drunkcast because it's the first weekend in March. So aren't you excited, Brett?
Yeah, I'm excited.
The past 2 have been relatively shitty.
God, it's been so bad.
It has. Seriously, since 2019.
I'm getting sick of wine, too, by the way. I'm kind of just sip on beer, maybe.
Sip on beer?
Yeah, just sip on beer.
That doesn't get you drunk.
Fine, I'll sip on wine.
Not sip. Drink wine.
How many times do I have to tell you?
Drink
Just
wine.
shut up.
Drink wine is what we'll be doing, ladies and gentlemen. And we're excited because the past two, like I just said, have kind of been crappy. And we needed something to reinvigorate our interest in this. And I'll admit, as the new year hit, I got busy and Brett started a new job and things kind of fell off to the wayside. But I think with our new format last week kind of invigorated and brought some new life back into it. What would you say, Brett?
Yeah.
Brett is just full of comments today.
It's because you can just pull stuff out of your butt to talk about. I wouldn't even have thought of talking about any of this stuff.
I have a lot I can pull out of my butt.
That's weird.
Just kidding.
No, you're not.
But anyhow, we're have a great show for you today, so I say let's kick it off with our first toast. What do you say, Brett?
Shots to the Shotcast.
Such a good beer.
It is a good beer. I like it.
Very tasty.
Is that a pale ale?
It's a perfect winter beer.
Yeah. Is that a pale ale?
It's an amber something. I'm not entirely sure.
It's an amber.
It's good, though.
Doesn't taste like an amber.
It's on the box. When you leave, we'll go look at the box. Okay. U.S. news. What is our story for this week? Brett, can you believe it?
Socialism!
After all of these...
Socialism's on the agenda.
If anyone's been paying attention to politics lately, we have a bunch of different Democrats throwing their hat into the ring to take on the regime of Donald Trump. Now, you all from 2016 may remember one Bernie Sanders, who actually had a very, very powerful grassroots movement that I really don't think any candidate in the past had.
I like what Andy said on Facebook.
What?
He said, vote for Bernie Sanders. We don't want to build walls. We want to build bridges.
Who's Andy?
Quizak.
Oh, Q.
Q, yeah.
Jesus. Well, the thing is, so Bernie had a really good grassroots movement back in 2016. Like, he raised a lot of money from individual people like you and me. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he was running on a very, from what some people thought, strange ticket because his ideas literally were the opposite of Trump's, but were just as crazy in a way, if you think about it. But now I don't think the stuff that he was talking about then is considered as crazy now.
No, because we've ruminated over it.
Yeah. But anyhow, Bernie Sanders officially this week stated that he will run again in a 2020 bid for the White House and in a second attempt to win the Democratic Party's nomination. Now, I will say this. I think out of all the people who've confirmed that they're going to be running in 2020, I think he is probably, even though he's very old, and I'm not entirely sure I'd vote for him because of how old he is.
I don't think age has to do with it, though.
I know U.S. history, and we've already dealt with something like that, and it's rough, to say the least.
Okay.
What?
I don't think he's going to die in office.
Well, whatever. He's very old, but that's neither here nor there.
I can see him just for 4 years.
But I truly think he could be the only person to take on Trump because, as we've known, you can't put a Hillary Clinton next to a populist. So I swear, the Democratic Party decides to put someone who's not a populist against Donald Trump again, we're hosed.
I think Bernie Sanders has a chance of winning.
I do,
because
Bernie Sanders is a populist in a democratic socialist way.
When he's not going against Hillary Clinton, who was sabotaging his campaign.
Correct. Which was confirmed, wasn't it?
It was confirmed. That's actually true, people. If you didn't know that, Hillary Clinton's campaign was
Debbie Wasserman Schultz
was actually confirmed of sabotaging Bernie Sanders' campaign.
But,
not directly, but they just
But anyhow, he did truly become a political star back in 2016, and he did lose his candidacy bid to Hillary Clinton.
I couldn't believe that.
And
that was two whammies for Democrats.
It was.
For Bernie Sanders supporters, there's two whammies. Like, oh my God, he didn't win.
And I got nothing.
And then Donald Trump wins
because they put Hillary against him, which all of us, I think, who were I'm more middle of the road now than I was, but at the time I was very liberal, and I would say I think all of us in a little liberal bubble were like, there's no way he can win, and we just blocked it all out.
Yeah, I didn't even think that he could possibly win.
So
I thought I was kind of ashamed of the country that he was in,
well,
even in like
because
against,
the polls lied. All the polls said that he... But anyhow, we're not going to get into all that.
No, I was ashamed of the country that even Donald Trump was even in the place to run against Hillary Clinton.
Yes, anyhow. But upon making his announcement this week, Bernie already raised over $1 million in 3.5 hours of launching his campaign.
Yep. Well, he has that notoriety now, so.
And he has been a very loud, outspoken critic of lovely President Donald Trump, calling him, quote unquote, a pathological liar and a racist. Also, both true.
I don't think that he's going to be as popular this time around because he's not the underdog anymore.
Correct.
He's still the underdog, but like before he was really the underdog.
If you think about it, our generation was the one he was appealing to back then. Mm-hmm. Now we're
Gen Z.
Now we're seasoned a bit more.
Gen Z is in the picture now.
They're
more Republican.
Well, just think about it. I was coming out of college. A lot of people I were voting at that time were coming out of college who were in my age group. And now we've been thrust into the adult world the past 3 years and have been witness to the horror that is being an adult. And it changes you a bit.
Yeah.
So that's why my views are a bit different.
I'm gonna look at my options this next voting season and see what we got. I'm not gonna just go all in on Bernie.
Well, his platform I think will stay the same. So in the past, as we know, he called for universal government provided health care. He called for a $15 national minimum wage, which I do not agree with actually, and free college education.
Because I was blindly just voting for him last time. I was like, yeah, man, peace and love.
He was also the complete opposite of our worst nightmare, which came true. So,
yes, yeah, it's true. We're still facing our worst nightmare this next voting season.
Anyhow,
our current worst nightmare.
Trump actually was quite kind to Bernie after he announced it. He apparently on Tuesday he told reporters he wished Mr. Sanders well in his second bid. And Trump said, "Personally, I think he missed his time, but I wish Bernie well. It'll be interesting to see how he does."
Well, there you go.
That's not the most horrible thing said. What are you doing?
Now, I was looking for a picture I saw. It didn't sound very friendly. Maybe it was something like from The Onion or something. I don't know.
But as you just said, Brett, he isn't the underdog this time, and he'll actually start the race near the front of the pack.
Yes, he's popular.
He'll have advantages of small donor fundraising, name recognition, and he'll have a 50... he's known in all 50 states and has an organization of people loyal to him.
So, it's 2019. It's going to start in 2020, right?
So the election is in 2020, so near the end of 2019.
So if I remember correctly from 2016,
when
it started in the August
correct.
before, right?
When late summer hits, you'll start seeing things get
it was like August,
kicked
right?
up, yes.
Yeah.
And you'll start seeing people hit the campaign trail probably late spring.
They usually start a year before.
Early summer, yes.
A year before the election.
Correct.
This is going to be exciting. I actually kind of like election seasons, don't you?
I mean, I hated 2016. That one was awful.
I kind of was entertained still, even though it was horrifying. But
if Mr. Sanders is successful in his bid, he will become the oldest presidential candidate in U.S. history. Yeah. Just that's my concern.
God damn, sorry, guys.
You're gross.
I didn't mean to burp in front of the mic.
Gross.
It just kind of came out.
Say you're sorry.
Sorry, everybody.
Say it again.
Sorry. Please don't hit me. Ah!
All right. Well, that's U.S. news. Shall we toast?
Shots to the Shotcast. Drink your beer faster, scrub.
Did you just call me scrub?
Yep.
How dare you? How dare you call me a scrub? You should explain what scrub is because there's people here who probably don't know.
Everybody knows, Nick.
No, not everybody knows.
Just because you don't know something doesn't mean everybody doesn't know it.
I'm assuming the layperson doesn't know what scrub means. A scrub basically is someone who sucks at video games.
Well, they just suck in life, too.
Oh.
You rock bottom piece of shit.
Great. World news. Brett, would you like to talk about this one?
World news. Rescuers hunt for skiers in Swiss avalanche.
Yeah.
So, last week, at least 4 people have been injured in one serious avalanche in a popular ski resort in the Swiss Alps.
Well, probably not uncommon for this time of year.
Yeah, there was about 240 rescuers who were continuing to search this week and overnight from the first night that it happened. Happened about 14:20 local time, which I don't know what that is.
Military time, it's about 1:20.
Oh, is that what military time is?
No,
local time?
That's about 2:20. 2:20 p.m.
I know it's 2:20, Nick, but what's local time? For local in the Swiss Alps? Is that what that means?
They're using a 24-hour clock. I don't know.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? You don't know. I know what a 24-hour clock is in military time is, but what's local time? Is that local? Does that mean local to the Swiss Alps?
Yes, I guess.
Okay, right. Police have said they cannot discount the possibility that others still may be. What the fuck am I typing? I gotta double check my typing. I'm learning that real hard right now. Do you ever go across your typos and then just fix them in your head mentally?
What do you mean?
Like if you're reading your stuff and you're gonna summarize it in your head, and then you see a typo like that, do you fix the typo in your head?
Yes.
So I shouldn't even bother saying my.
No.
I should just
correct.
Make everybody believe that I typed that correctly.
Don't reveal your flaws. Scrub.
God damn it. Police have said they cannot discount the possibility that others still may be in effect after.
Brett has also a problem reading what he writes verbatim.
Yeah, I just can't do it like Nick does it. After local reports said up to 12 people may have been involved. One way I can fix that is I can type all this stuff in my own words.
Yes.
Then I'll be reading my own words.
So basically 12 people died, or what happened here?
So up to 12 people may have been involved. So 12 people were involved in the avalanche, but 4 were actually injured and captured in the avalanche.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
400 meters.
Mm-hmm. Witnesses have said that other people may be buried. The avalanche engulfed 400 meters of piste marked out for skiers.
I'm guessing that's the trail or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Verone said just a few weeks ago there was heavy snow. Oh, that's what Mr. Verone said. Just a few weeks ago there was heavy snow across the Alps.
Who's Mr. Verone?
I don't know. I'll just keep Mr. Verone out of this. Just a few weeks ago there was a heavy snow across the Alps, but the last few days have been seen strong sunshine. Some are already asking whether this avalanche, unthinkably for many, might be connected to climate change. Global warming!
I'll tell you what's connected to global warming and climate change. Las Vegas keeps getting snow. Inches of snow. It's not supposed to snow in the desert.
Wait, did they get more?
Yes!
They got more?
This ain't normal, folks. This winter ain't normal. I don't care what anybody says. Why are you looking at me like that?
First they get snow in Hawaii. Now they have like 2 snowfalls in Las Vegas. That's the desert.
That's the devil's asshole of heat.
That's the desert
in the summer.
That's desert.
Yeah, it ain't normal. Well, Brett, look at what we've been dealing with here. Every week, we've at least gotten 3 to 5 inches of snow since January started.
Mm-hmm.
Every week. And now this weekend in Madison, it's supposed to be a combination of rain, sleet, and snow, which in my opinion is even worse than snow.
It is. That is worse.
It's supposed to do that all day Saturday and all day Sunday.
I'm kind of disappointed. I wish it would why can't it actually get hotter? Why does climate change have to make it so it's more snowy and cold?
Because people don't.
Why can't global warming be real?
People don't understand how the atmosphere works and how ocean currents.
No, I understand how it works, but why can't just do it the other way?
I don't know, Brett. Maybe just wave your magic wand and fix the planet.
But you hear I said, why can't global warming be real?
It is real.
Climate change is real. Global warming isn't.
Personally, if you ask
me... nothing's being warm.
I'd rather...
Just the climate's changing, but nothing's getting warmer.
Would I rather freeze to death or would I rather die of heat stroke? I don't think either.
Freeze to death, you go numb and you don't feel anything. Heat stroke, you don't feel anything. So either way... You just eventually...
Either way, this has not been a normal winter by any fathom of the imagination.
At least the body knows you're about to die, so it takes pain away.
Yes.
Except if you get stabbed. Well, actually, if you get stabbed, I think the pain still is kind of numb. Like, if you get chainsawed, you don't feel that. Well, maybe you do.
Because you go into shock.
Yeah, you go into shock, and your body's like, I can't take it anymore.
You can die from shock.
Can you?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Like...
I mean, if whatever puts you into shock is not enough to make you die, you can just die from shock.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you can go into cardiac arrest from shock.
Okay.
Anyhow, that was a weird tangent. Even so, this has not been a normal winter, and Brett and I have been talking because had Brett not got a new job that started January 1st, wow, this would have been a bad winter for you.
If you're new,
your old job.
If you're new, my previous job was me driving around probably at least 100 miles a day, like for 6 hours. And this new job is literally a 5-minute drive. So, yeah, this winter would have sucked. 12 hours a day probably because I have to drive in the snow.
Now Brett's commute is 5 minutes.
Yep.
Let's put it this way. I've had to drive in worse conditions than Brett has this year, which is saying something.
Yep.
Yes. Well, that's an interesting bit of world news. I hope those people make it out okay.
Maybe.
Such a positive thoughts you have there, Brett.
I know. Sometimes I think I'm a little too positive. It gets kind of boring.
No, never would think that.
Oh, okay. That's good.
All right. Shall we move on to our next topic?
Shotcast.
All right. Politics. My favorite. Not really. It's actually starting to really get on my nerves, all this stuff.
Oh, really? It's been like 3 years.
What? What do you mean?
It's been 3 years with Trump.
Yeah, and it still sucks.
Has it been 3 years or 2 years?
2 years. We're going on 3.
We're going on 3. Okay.
Yeah. God, it's felt longer than that.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I felt like
It feels like 5.
I feel like we're running like a million-mile marathon that just won't end.
It feels like 5. Kind of.
See, this is the thing. Like, not only has this just been bad, it has literally stressed everybody out.
It's been bad continuously. There's no like dull moments.
No, there hasn't been. It literally has been a constant pit of stress since he took office. Mm-hmm. Have you seen him in recent interviews? He looks like shit.
No, I haven't seen him.
Yeah, he looks bad.
Can I take a look at him? Can we look up a recent interview?
I'm just was watching.
We'll look it up after the podcast.
Yeah, no, he looks bad. My opinion.
Maybe he'll have a heart attack and die.
Let's not wish such things, Brett.
I'm not wishing it. I'm just saying maybe he will.
Could be. We all could. Really.
I don't want anybody to have a heart attack.
But when you live on egg McMuffins and steak with ketchup.
But you can't get people. He doesn't want to get poisoned, so he eats McDonald's.
Correct. Which actually is a really smart tactic, though.
No.
Why?
I mean, if you don't want to get poisoned, but you're still poisoning yourself because it's McDonald's.
It's like that Chinese emperor who was trying to stay alive forever by giving himself mercury.
That makes no sense.
What do you mean?
Why would you give yourself mercury?
Well, back then they didn't know it was actually poisonous.
Okay.
There was this old emperor, I forgot which dynasty it was. But he wanted to try and live forever, so he got his alchemists together and said, "Make me live forever." Shi Huangdi, I think his name was. I can't remember what the dynasty was. But they were giving him daily doses of mercury. And contrary to popular belief, everybody, mercury is very poisonous. Mm-hmm. Actually, one of the most poisonous elements on the planet.
Oh, I don't know about that.
What do you mean you don't know about that?
I've found some in my job. They're pretty bad.
Elements?
Elements?
Yeah, I'm talking about elements on the periodic table. Mercury is probably the most poisonous.
I'm talking about I forgot. Compound.
Oh. Anyhow, back to politics. So, this week, Trump lashed out at quote-unquote treasonous officials after former FBI Director McCabe basically said that when I was FBI Director, me and the Deputy Attorney General were talking about invoking the 25th Amendment. Which, if you did not know, the 25th Amendment is the built-in clause of the Constitution that allows Congress to remove a president if the president is deemed unfit to do their job.
Wait, what is he doing?
Well, let me explain. So,
you're on Sunday, a former.
Yeah, so basically, Trump issued an angry response after a TV interview aired this Sunday. Yes, after former FBI Director Andrew McCabe alleged that officials had held discussions about invoking the 25th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. And Trump tweeted of illegal and treasonous behavior and an illegal coup attempt, because why wouldn't he go on Twitter and say these things? And in the interview, the former FBI director said talks had been held in 2017 about invoking a clause that can remove any president deemed unfit to serve the office, which is the 25th Amendment. And McCabe also said that the acting Deputy Attorney General at the time, Rod Rosenstein, had held discussions on the number of cabinet members needed to invoke the clause. So, by the way, this exists in the Constitution, but it is very, very, very hard to do.
Has it ever been done?
No. because you need so basically you need the vice president to sign off on
Has
it.
anybody ever offered this up?
What do you mean?
Has anybody in history ever offered this up to have of this power, offer this up to have the president?
That I
invoked?
do not know. I heard there were talks during Clinton's presidency when all the Monica Lewinsky shit was going on.
Well, baby, boom job.
Yeah.
Oh, boo.
But it's very hard to actually do this because you need the consent of the vice president. You need a signature. You need signature from a certain number of the president's cabinet. And then you also need 2/3 majority of Congress.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, that is. Mm-hmm. But they put it in there for good reason. So apparently there were talks about this. And allegations that Rod Rosenstein discussed invoking the 25th Amendment were first reported by the New York Times last year, which I do remember hearing about. And former FBI Director McCabe also said that Rosenstein was openly counting votes or possible votes, and that he was very concerned about the president and his capacity about his intent at that point in time. Which, understandably so, look at what we've been dealing with. So I think I already kind of went over the 25th Amendment. Actually, no, I was wrong. The 25th Amendment has been used before, but it's only had to been used. It has only been used if a current sitting president was incapacitated for any reason.
Okay.
So the example being when Ronald Reagan and George W. Bush used the amendment to temporarily transfer power when they were medically anesthetized.
Okay.
So that would be it. But yeah, essentially a majority of the president's cabinet plus the vice president would need to sign a letter, and then the vice president would then become the acting president, and the president can give a written response. Then Congress would have to decide on removal, requiring a 2/3 majority in both houses. So a very, very hard feat to pull off, but it exists.
Yeah.
And I think with the current state of things we've been dealing with, I'm not shocked they had talks of this. Mm-hmm. Now, that paints a very bad picture of the U.S. Justice Department, because to have talks of a federal agency internally deciding if they're going to remove their own quote-unquote boss because he's deemed unfit to do the job.
Yeah.
So yeah, this actually was very interesting, and they actually, the Justice Department is now opening up an investigation and basically said that this McCabe guy is crazy and that never happened, which totally is not true.
No.
I'm sure they held numerous talks about removing Trump from power. Why wouldn't you?
I hope he gets impeached. I've said that since he started.
It won't happen.
It won't happen. No.
No.
He's going to go do 8 years.
No. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to think, have we had any sitting U.S. president be impeached?
No.
No. They were going to start the process for Clinton, but he cycled out of office before they could do it. And then Nixon resigned.
Which I think Trump has done way worse than a blowjob.
I think he's done way worse than Nixon and Clinton put into the same room together, if you ask me.
Any president, really.
But
then again, I haven't really studied all the presidents, so I wouldn't know.
Well, let me just say,
I'll hold my tongue.
Most of them haven't.
Oh, are you done? Sorry.
Most of them hasn't done all this stuff.
I didn't mean to rush.
Anyhow, yeah. So interesting story to keep up on. I'm sure everyone will forget about it, by the end of the week, because that's how everything works these days. So. Mm-hmm. All right, well, Brett and I are going to take a quick break to recharge, and then we'll be back for the second half where we dive into more top news.
All right.
And we're back, yes. Wasn't that a lovely break, Brett? Okay, well, let's toast for the next.
Shots to the Shotcast.
Brett decided to put his backwash in my cup.
Doesn't make any sense. I put all your backwash in my cup.
Wait, you dumped my beer into yours?
Yeah.
Why?
Is that why you gave me some?
Yeah, I thought you put yours into mine.
No, I stole yours.
Why?
Because I wanted more.
There's like 4 more in the fridge.
You thought I poured mine in there? And then he gave me some. And you gave me more. I'm like, why is he doing that?
Everybody, if you ever get yourself one of these best friend things, run away. Far away.
Why is he pouring?
They're not worth it. Just kidding. All right, technology. This week, an AI fake face website launched. This is actually scary stuff. Mm-hmm. This is real scary stuff. So we've now gotten to the point where technology has become intelligent enough that it can assemble real human faces that never actually existed out of images that it's collected
Creepy.
and sifted through. And it's quite good, actually.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's weird. But a software developer has created a website that generates fake faces using AI. And the website, if you all would like to write it down and go check it out, and I highly recommend that you do to see how scary this is called thispersondoesnotexist.com. Perfect name, in my opinion. And every time you go to the website or refresh the link, it generates a new lifelike image. Each time the page... Yes, it generates a new lifelike image using technology developed by NVIDIA, which you all may know is a very big chip maker and graphics card maker.
Mm-hmm.
So some visitors to the website say they have been amazed by the convincing nature of some of the fakes, although others are more clearly artificial. I would say I probably cycled through 10. 8 out of the 10 you could not distinguish from a fake to a real person.
Really?
In my opinion.
Interesting.
The only thing that I would notice that would get screwed up on the 2 that looked artificial was the eyes.
The eyes always seem kind of dead.
Well, that, or they seem out of place. Or...
Yeah. But, just remember, Rogue One. Remember Rogue One? General Tars?
Oh, what's his face?
Is that what his name is? General Tarsus?
No.
No, that's Anthem.
Jesus. I can't remember what his name was, but he was in A New Hope as the really old guy. And
Yeah.
Through the power of CGI, made him look like real.
And there were some parts where he looked real. I'm like, isn't he was old in the 70s? And I'm like, oh, it's just a fake video.
Yes, and it was actually, I think we both were blown away. I think we both were sitting there like, he's dead. How is he up and running again?
I still hands down think Rogue One is better than any of the newer ones. Any of the new Star Wars movies, Rogue One's the best.
Thank you, Brett.
You're welcome.
Anyhow, these faces are really something. I highly recommend you go to this website and check it out. And the technology exists because NVIDIA developed a pair of adversarial AI programs to create and then critique the images that it collects back in 2017.
Okay.
So they basically made these programs open source, meaning anyone in the public can access them. So the scary thing is, as the quality of synthetic speech, text, and imagery improve, researchers are encountering ethical dilemmas about whether to share their work, because this type of stuff can happen.
Yeah.
If it goes unchecked, which is a big talk in the AI community right now, and I should know, is there really is no concrete checks and balances system on this technology that truly at some point will become smarter than human beings, I'm convinced.
I think this is very much going to be a big issue in the future, where people of other countries are going to think that, our current president's talking about them, and then he's not.
Well, or what is that stupid YouTube thing you showed me where that guy was doing the investigative report and that deep face thing, or deep fake thing, where it was showing...
the voice is...
Well, remember he was showing, they did CGI of, Obama and it looked real, or they did CGI of somebody else.
Oh, that was Shane Dawson's.
Yeah, and you couldn't distinguish between
what
was real and what was fake. I mean, that's scary stuff, because all that takes is that getting into the hands of somebody malicious and then them influencing a lot of people or doing something using that technology.
Speaking of Shane Dawson and conspiracies, did you see the conspiracy about Chuck E. Cheese's?
Oh, that their pizza isn't, they make it fresh every time?
So, yeah, they'll go around people's tables and take over leftover pieces that weren't eaten after the people leave.
They don't do that.
You might want to watch the video.
They don't do that. That is a health department thing.
Because a big slice of pizza has different size slices on it. They don't match up. And
come on!
They even bought a Chuck E. Cheese pizza and measured the slices and then try to make them symmetrical. And the pizza's not symmetrical.
You buy frozen pizza at the store and it's not symmetrical.
But they went to cut it. They went down with a tape measure to the cut. The cut didn't line up with any other piece.
Brett,
and the piece is smaller than all the other pieces.
Wait. So you're saying they had a whole pizza?
Yeah.
But the theory was that they would take pieces of pizza and put it on a tray. They don't pre-cut it.
No, they don't. They would take pieces, so people would get their pizza.
Yeah.
And then they wouldn't eat some of the pieces.
Okay.
So they'd go around and they'd pick those up, reheat it, put extra cheese on it, and serve it to the next person.
I don't believe that.
You gotta watch it.
I don't believe that.
You gotta watch it.
They'd be shut down for that.
They've gotten away with it for years.
I'm sure, but that they'd be shut down for that.
The pieces don't match up, Nick.
That's not enough conclusive evidence.
The pieces don't match up. Some are smaller than the others, and the slicing does not match up. The pizza's not symmetrical.
I'm just picturing you sitting on your couch watching this, doing your hookah
Dude,
pen thing.
I was thinking the same. I was saying the same shit you were saying, and I watched it. I was like, okay, that's kind of like screwed up.
I don't believe it.
Just watch it for yourself then.
Fine.
Go to Shane Dawson's channel.
When I pack tonight, I'll turn it on.
Go to Shane Dawson's channel. Go to his first video, and it's that one. It's the most recent one. It's like an hour and a half long.
An hour and a half long investigation for stupid Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
There's 3 stories. There's 3 stories all mixed together. Not about pizza, but 3 separate, different conspiracy stories.
Well, everybody, if you're interested, supposedly you can find out whether when you go to Chuck E. Cheese, the pizza is actually just a conglomerate of other pieces.
2 weeks. The video is 2 weeks old. It has almost 30 million views.
That's his channels in general. They get that.
He's just starting to get around those views. That's ridiculous. 30 million, Nick?
Because he's doing this documentary type stuff that nobody else is doing.
Yeah, a niche.
Which I thought he was already really popular and niched out before.
Yeah, I mean, like 1 million, 2 million here and there, like somewhere like below 1 million for views. He just started doing this like
because the public is always
year.
been interested in conspiracy theories.
Well, not all. It's not all conspiracy theories. I mean, it's just documentary style videos. The public's going crazy over it. And he's getting like 20 million to 30 million views each video.
Too bad YouTube destroyed how much people can earn.
No, actually, it's back to normal. He's probably a millionaire. No, he legit probably is.
Well, yeah, the dude lives in California.
In a mansion now. He just moved.
He just moved.
He did.
His house was already big.
Yeah, a big one.
Jesus. Anyhow, back to the AI fake face thing.
Oh, yeah, whoops.
Brett. So, as I said, researchers are starting to withhold their work because of all these ethical dilemmas that we're starting to face here. And last week, the Elon Musk-backed OpenAI research group announced it had created an artificially intelligent writer, but they have elected to keep it to themselves.
Okay.
Because think about that. If you can train AI to write, you don't know whether it's human or not, and you could totally do some crazy bad crap with that.
Yep.
So I think this is only going to become a growing problem. And as much of an AI evangelist as I am, I agree. If left unchecked, this shit can cause problems and probably will do more harm than good. So everybody needs to kind of, the people in the space need to really start looking at the ethical implications and putting some checks and balances on this. MIT has invested some money into doing so, but otherwise nobody really is. And this is the type of stuff that Elon Musk gets really afraid of, is when you start having all of it happen, but nobody's like...
There's no laws being made about it.
No regulation on it, or nobody's really... Look what Facebook... There was no regulation on Facebook. Look what happened.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what happens.
That social media platform is the largest database of personal information. There was nothing on it.
Yep.
So, just saying, we humans don't tend to learn from our mistakes, though. Sometimes we do.
History repeats itself. Too often.
Anyhow, check out this website, thispersondoesnotexist.com, and you'll see the crazy AI stuff that we're talking about here.
All right.
Okay.
Entertainment and pop culture. After we do shots to the Shotcast. So now, French fencing with lightsabers is now a thing. And you can kind of tell that the entertainment and pop culture was pretty dry this week, because now I'm talking about lightsaber dueling in France.
Which I'm trying to figure out how this fits into entertainment and pop culture, but we'll run with it.
It's pop culture because it's about Star Wars, and it's entertainment because people
what you're saying
fighting with lightsabers.
Is the French Fencing Federation.
It's like, do I pick the dumbest story for entertainment? Do I really care about how Kylie Jenner's hair looks this week? Not really, but do other people think that's interesting? I don't know. So I picked lightsaber dueling in France.
So what you're telling me is the French Fencing Federation has recognized lightsaber dueling as a competitive sport.
Yep. You just read verbatim, but you didn't sound like you read verbatim.
I'm all for it.
How the fuck? According to the Associated, according to the Associated Press, the Federation it's given the iconic Star Wars weapon the same status as the traditional blades they use in fencing.
Okay.
The foil, epee, and saber, and competitions.
What's the foil, epee, and saber?
It's like fencing terminology. The competition can now begin to train like Luke Skywalker. So, if you want to be like Luke Skywalker, go to the French Fencing Federation.
Okay.
They'll train you how to do it.
So you're telling me you and I could fly to France?
Yeah, I'll be like a little Yoda.
Learn how to fight with lightsabers.
It'll be like a little person dressed in green with ears. So, come to... Well, actually it'll be like... Acme va voulacher, oui, oui?
What?
Because Yoda. You gotta talk backwards. Acme chat voulez, oui, oui? But instead it'd be oui, oui, voulacher, acme va. The acme va voulacher, oui, oui? Probably saying that wrong as hell. Oh, well. Why are you like that? Why are you going across the couch?
Brett.
The new sport will be governed. Okay, I gotta sit closer. My contacts keep fogging up because I keep straining my eyes here. Okay. The new sport will be governed a new set of rules, some of which are more typical of fencing than others. Fighters still need to wear masks and armor for protection, but matches take place inside a circle taped on the floor rather than a rectangular strip, which I did not know that regular fencing was fought inside a rectangular strip. So it's going to be like sumo mixed with fencing. Five points awarded to... 5 points...
Sumo mixed with fencing.
Yep.
So you have to get somebody out of the ring, too.
Yes. 5 points are awarded for the House Cup.
Stop it.
For strikes to the head or body. 3 points if it goes to her head. 3 points for the arms or legs.
Why
and
are
1
you
point
pulling
for the
Harry
hands.
Potter?
I don't just want to. The first to reach 15 points or the highest score after 3 minutes wins the match. Sudden death occurs if both fighters reach 10 points. In this case, the first to strike the head or body wins.
This sounds like cutthroat stuff.
It does, and it's with lightsabers.
Yeah, but like, what are they? Are they like the cheap ones, or are they like the nice glass ones that?
They better be the nice glass ones, or else I'm not paying.
Yeah, but you can't fight with those; they'll probably break.
Maybe they found a way to make it like a metal one.
I suppose, but you know what? I wonder what they used as in like the movies. They probably used something similar.
I bet you it's like really stiff glow sticks.
Yeah, that could be. Yes, that could actually be the case.
So this is what in their words: the dark side that the Federation is fighting is the childhood obesity epidemic.
What?
The way they said that, the dark side of the force that the Federation is fighting is the childhood obesity epidemic.
And the popularity of more sedentary video games.
Jesus Christ!
Huh.
They'll be trying to create a bond between discipline and modern technologies that latch on to kids, making them lazy.
Wait, so they're trying to get kids more active?
Try to get more kids active. What I meant to say is...
I tell you what, if I was...
Technology's making kids too lazy, so they're trying to make them more active.
If I was a kid and I had the opportunity to learn how to lightsaber duel, I'd do that.
Dude, you bet your ass I'd do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd do that. Get my ass out of video games.
But then again, I don't really think Star Wars is as popular with like Gen Z these days.
Well...
You could thank Disney for that.
Well, I just think it's a generational thing. Because if you think about it...
Making kids be less kids.
When we were younger, I mean... You know, the prequels came out, so we kind of were exposed to that a bit.
Yeah, but I still just watched the original trilogies, really. I didn't really care about the new ones.
Well, and this is a discussion we can get in.
Then I found out that they're all connected, and I got into it. See, there's something about my brain and stuff connecting that I like. Remember Marvel?
Anyhow, I think this is great. I am all for them teaching people how to fence using lightsabers.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should get something like this here in the U.S. Hey, Brett, you want to start a lightsaber fencing club with Best Buddy?
We've done too much so far. No. We don't have enough time. We're too busy.
You are buzzkill. You're going to vomit there?
No. You know when you're trying to burp, but liquids are coming up while you're burping? So you're trying to like burp, have the air pass through the liquids in your throat.
Gross.
That is disgusting.
Okay. Well, on to our last topic, our feel-good story.
Oh, this one makes me feel good all around.
Our feel-good story of the week. Let's do our last
Sasha's Shotcast.
All right.
Mm-hmm. So an officer in San Francisco has saved over 200 people from jumping over the Golden Gate Bridge.
Now, when you read this to me initially, I was like, what were all these people doing? Like committing suicide at the same time or something? Like what?
He was first stationed in 1994 So over the course of
okay. See, this is what I thought. I meant like people doing it simultaneously.
you thought
yes.
you thought 200 people were gonna jump off the frickin' bridge.
Yes.
And he went and was like, "No, 200 people, don't." And they're like, "Okay," and they got off. No, since 1994 to 2019, he's no, actually, when did he retire? 2013. So from 1994 to 2013, he has saved over 200 people from jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge. Am I talking too fast?
No. So when Brett says 200 people, like over the course of a time period, this man has.
Yes, that's what I just said. If you don't understand that, you're stupid and stop listening.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
Just kidding. You can stay. So his name is Kevin Briggs. That's the officer. Briggs has been dubbed the Guardian of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh, what a name.
Yep, because of his history of talking people down from the edge of the historic landmark.
So does this guy just so happen to be there every time somebody's going to try and kill themselves on the Golden Gate Bridge?
I'm guessing so. My feet stink. I'm guessing so.
Did
The
you
Golden.
just say your feet stink?
Ugh, that smells like ass. The Golden Gate Bridge is a notorious spot for suicide attempts. Briggs, who is a California Highway Patrol officer, was first stationed on the bridge in 1994, but he says they had never trained on how to handle suicidal people. This is him saying this, quote, "I think my first approach was wrong. Just walking right up to them and starting to talk with them was wrong. He did not think that just going up to him and just having a conversation right away that was probably bad. So now what he did start doing was he would stand back, say, 'Hi, I'm Kevin with the Highway Patrol. Is it okay? Is it all right if I come up and speak with you for a bit?' And he said, I want to get their permission and empower them first before speaking to them."
So he just goes up to try and start a casual conversation.
Exactly.
Okay.
He doesn't just go, "Hey, how you doing today?" He wants to give them permission there. He wants to give them their power and think that they're in control of the situation, which makes sense. Briggs retired from the CHP in 2013.
What's the CHP?
County Highway Patrol, probably.
Oh, okay.
2013. And he now works in suicide prevention and mental health awareness.
So this guy just has a very good knack for empowering people who are in a very bad place.
Yep. Sometimes the people he has helped even join him for speaking events.
Well, what a good dude.
Yep. On top of all this, Briggs hopes that his legacy on the Golden Gate Bridge will inspire other people to take depression more seriously, whether it's in themselves or their loved ones.
This just is a testament that you don't need to do something grandiose with your life to make an impact.
Correct.
You can be the best heroes.
Briggs.
The best heroes are sometimes the smallest ones that we may never hear about.
Yep, he saved over 200 people. How big of a butterfly effect that is?
Yes.
It's a huge butterfly effect. Think about that. He saved over 200 people. 200 people turns into 400. 400 turns into 800. 16. That's just doubling, isn't it? 4, 16, 32, 64, 120.
Unsung heroes. Further proof.
128.
Further
64
proof.
plus 64. 128, yeah.
Well, as you know me, Brett, I feel like I have to accomplish this big, grandiose thing in life in order to leave a legacy. But look at this guy. All he does is he's just doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And being a support structure for people when they need it. That is admirable.
Yep, I think you relate with it too, so.
That's very admirable.
Yep.
That is a feel-good story. I really like this one.
Mm-hmm. I thought you'd like it. Well, anything more you have to say about that?
No, I think we're good. It's been what did you think about this podcast, Brett?
I liked it. I like the structure.
I do too. I think we're getting our groove back.
I think having 6 stories provides more for a tangent on each story.
It does. We still got to figure out what we're going to do for the drunk cast and how we're going to mess with that, I suppose, don't we?
Yep.
Well,
We'll
even
figure that
so,
out,
hopefully you all enjoyed this week's episode. I think
Yep.
Brett and I had a good time. So,
thanks for listening.
as I always leave off with, make sure to like us on social media. You can follow us on Instagram at _Shotcast or on Facebook at the Shotcast WI for Wisconsin. And you can listen to all of our episodes, past and present, on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and at our website, www.theshotcast.com.
Also on YouTube.
That's right. We do have a YouTube channel that Brett
And
does
make sure to like and subscribe on there.
that posts videos. As a matter of fact, now that we're running...
Hello, if you are listening on YouTube.
Yes, now that we're running 2 microphones, Brett can do that cool Adobe After Effects things where it shows the...
Yep, I gotta get the new version because it's not working properly.
But once we do get that, Brett will be able to do that cool thing you see.
There was one I did. One worked.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, you can actually go. I think it's like 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
It's actually working on YouTube.
All right. Well, here we are.
But I'll recently when I try to edit that Spectrum on there, there's no sound, but the Spectrum's playing.
Yeah, I got to get you these files. I probably won't get them to you tomorrow. Okay, we're just talking to Nipa. All right, well, we will see you next week for our for our monthly March Drunk-cast, which this one is going to be good.
Yep.
Hope you all are ready. Right, Brett?
Right.
Say, Brett, get drunk.
Brett, get drunk.
Brett, get drunk.
Brett, get drunk.
All
Brett,
right.
get run.
See y'all later. Bye-bye.
See you later.